that they got rid of Napoleon. They tried to enact the Treaty of Amiens, in which to put Malta back to the Order of St. John, but some locals were not keen on returning to their former rulers and requested to remain under the British protection. As it happened, the Peace of Amiens was short-lived and the Napoleonic Wars resumed. The British were thus committed to defend Malta and would eventually gain sovereignty of the Maltese Islands. Throughout cycles of war and peace, Maltese fortunes were inexplicably linked to those of Britain. Those were never more evident than the World War II, when the island played a pivotal role in the Mediterranean theatre of war. After the war, the movement for self-determination grew stronger, and finally Malta was granted independence in September 21st, 1964. British forces retained a presence in Malta until March 31st, 1979, in which the military bases on the islands were closed and the island became part of the British Commonwealth. This bell tolls in the memory of those who gave their lives during the siege of Malta, 1940 to 1943. We didn't mention it on the vlog. That's the set for Gladiator 2. Yeah, they built a half of a Colosseum. You can see at the back there, that's like wood on aphasia. I've been trying not to video them, but they're everywhere. It's just horses and carriages. And I personally, as much as I love horses, I love seeing horses being used. I don't agree with the tourist aspect of using horses in horse and carriages, especially in hot places and on hot days like this, especially when it's day in, day out. These horses are not treated correctly. They are thin, not living their best lives in a lovely fields. They're probably stabled in a place somewhere in the city. So I don't agree with, I will never take part, and I also won't take photos of to encourage other people. If I can give anybody advice, don't do it, don't use it.
Public transport.
Public transport, not horses. Leave them. Don't promote that business. Fort was built in the strategic location at the end of the peninsula to hold back the wrath of the Ottoman Empire. Under the British rule, Fort St Elmo was extensively upgraded with new artillery and even played an important role in the defence of Malta during the Second World War. Its active role in sieges and battles made it ideal for the hosting of the National War Museum, which is what we're going to go see today. So yeah, it's a big fort. And yeah, just very impressive. Let's go learn some stuff about... Oh, I should look less excited. Let's learn some stuff about war.
As distant winds of conflict and change blew out the flags of Malta, she built her ramparts high and strong, surviving all that time and man could launch against her.
Malta's had quite a big history of takeovers, wars and conflicts.
Yeah, it's very strategic. If you were leading an empire, you'd be like, right, yeah, that's a good idea.
I want that one.
You want that
it's right in the middle. By 1500s, the Mediterranean had become a battleground between the Ottoman Empire and the Christian Europe. In 1453, Constantinople fell to the Ottoman Turks, and by 1523, had captured the entire eastern Mediterranean. In 1530, the Holy Roman Emperor Charles V donated Malta to the Knights of St. John. He was determined to stop his rival Sultan Suleiman from extending his influence into Western Mediterranean. So the siege started as they landed along the three cities. Bombardments between the two with cannons happened for weeks. By the time St Elmo fell a few weeks later, the walls were crumbling, the Cavalier had been lost, and only a handful of knights remained. During the final weeks of the siege, it was grim on both sides. As the Ottoman forces headed towards Medina, the knights sallied out and approached the Ottoman forces, tricking them into believing that they were the reinforcements from Sicily and that it would be as hard to take Medina as it was to take St Elmo. This pushed the Ottomans back and away as they sailed back to Constantinople, leading the Knights of St John to beginning the construction of the fortified city of Valletta. It was during the 1700s, so 1798, that a French fleet of hundreds of ships carrying 40,000 men sailed from Toulon with Napoleon in charge as they made their way to Egypt. The French established a revolutionary rule in Malta. In with this, the French also seized wealth and possessions of the church to help fund their war, which wasn't accepted very well from the Maltese. On the 6th of September 1800, after 2 years of siege warfare, the British oversaw the French surrender and the end of the French oppression in Malta. It was after that that the British took over guardianship of Malta before it was absorbed as part of the British Empire. Valletta was instrumental for the Allied forces during the First World War. It was a navy base for the French and the English, as well as a place for prisoners of war to be held. It was a huge medical area in which over 120,000 wounded soldiers from all ranks passed through Malta. At the start of the Second World War, the British and the French used Malta as a naval base in which they enforced the sanctions that were used against Germany, preventing trade between neutral countries delivering supplies to Germany. Malta didn't just hold a naval importance to Britain, but also an aerial importance. The Royal Air Force created bases here to mount attacks. June 10th, 1940, Italy declared war on Britain and France, expecting Malta to surrender. Italy immediately mounted air raids against the island. Barracks or like...
Because of the air raids, they would have used some of the catacombs as emergency air raid shelters.
It's amazing. Malta was bombarded for so much of the war. April 15, 1942, King George awarded the whole island of Malta the King George Cross in recognition of their tremendous ordeal they faced and also efforts they went to keep Malta.
That's cute. From this site, Her Royal Highness Princess Elizabeth watched the return of her husband, the Duke of Edinburgh.
Aww. He was stationed in Malta, wasn't he?
Yeah. It's on the HMS Chequers.
Very nice. Command post. What is a phone? Just see out, can't you? Anyone?
Help. Help. Got it, I've got it.
Right, we're waiting here to see if the guns go off.
Yeah, we got tomorrow, okay.
Yeah.
But we were in the museum and went around the fort, and we looked at the time before.
Oh, the guns are going to go.
Let's go and see if we can...
Yeah, we're going to hear them tomorrow, probably.
Yeah,
but it's
we'll
cool
go
to
closer
hear the air raid siren.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Ah, what an amazing fort, an incredible part of it. We just watched a video kind of sequence through, and it highlighted that Malta has been defending, specifically this fort has been defending for over 400 years before the Second World War. Not sure what we're on to next, probably lunch, and then we'll decide what's after that. We do have an archaeology museum we can go to.
Yeah,
so that could be fun.
Lots of fun stuff.
And I do want to go to the other side of the bay today, if we can. So let's go see what happens.
Here's the park. It's funny, he's just used to not seeing green anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Too tasteful. I do quite like it.
Too tasteful is a good problem to have when you're talking about these.
I think so.
That's the question. Do we get Tommy the lamp? Aww. I like coming there and seeing these every time we come out of our place. You say we're turning right here?
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. That was quick. This is actually really interesting, or a great cover story. They're researching like part of the buildings as well, so that it involves taking the paint away. I'm researching. I'm researching our cottage, by the way.
Oh, good to know. Yeah.
I'm researching the mould in the bathroom.
So this museum specifically about the archaeology of Malta. As we established before, there's so much history. We've kind of only really focused on the medieval section with the Byzantine siege, as well as a little bit Roman yesterday, mostly World War I and World War II. We're going to look a bit more World War II later tomorrow. Today, or at least here, it's going to go over all the bit before, and a bit more with the Phoenicians and stuff. So we'll have a look at some stuff.
Take advantage of little shots like this.
Yeah, that's good.
Because I cannot fly drones here. It's really cool. This city's so gorgeous, so wonderful to go around.
So let's talk about the megalithic temples that have been found in Malta that actually predate not only Stonehenge but the Great Pyramids in the time that they were built. Yeah, there's 6 sites of them in and around Malta, which is really interesting. I didn't know that. It's really old. So these are carvings of people, like depictions of people, but the hole in the head is to what they assume is to allow a head to be interchangeable, so it could be depicting one person or another, and it seems to be on all of them that they're missing their heads, so very healthy rather than stick dead, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting body positive movement within history. They're so cool, I love them so much.
Very different from the Egyptians. If you swap out the heads, the Egyptians would just like scratch off the name and put there.
These guys had it right.
Yeah,
in
it's
Egypt, they'd be like, that's me.
Yeah.
They would change the head.
Like, I understand, you can change it.
Ramesses could have just taken over by just swapping the head out.
So this beautiful piece here has apparently come to represent, as a whole, the Maltese prehistoric period. And you were saying about, again, the artistry of it all.
Yeah, it's so cool.
It's very impressive.
The realism kind of it. So much art gets lost, or like depictions of human beings throughout history gets lost in this like style or this kind of theme that they go for. Like the Egyptians, for example, everyone knows the exact same. This is so interesting to see. It may not be necessarily a depiction of what they look like, but the attention to detail of anatomy is really cool.
Got a little feet.
Little feet. Phoenicians were able sailors and key merchants that departed on this side of the Mediterranean. That's their homeland, but they kind of came over into Greece and obviously settled in Malta.
Oh, this is cool. This is what it would look like to the divers. Okay, put a blue filter over this. Is that how you dive?
It's pretty accurate, yeah. Purple material, gold, loads of pots and things and like that. Also for the dissemination of the alphabet out to the world.
Oh my gosh, yeah, they would do, because
Yeah.
it's very similar to the Silk Road, right?
Yeah, pretty much. So they were the
Knowledge
ones
and
that
language.
were around that time, or at least from where they're from. Hieroglyphics and that kind of thing would have been the general ways of communicating. Apparently the Phoenicians are the ones who kind of created the alphabet and kind of, like I said, disseminated it around to different cultures as they were trading.
Very cool.
So cool.
Right, we're gonna catch a ferry now. Gonna go over there somewhere,
One of the three cities. Can't remember.
and then look back at this place as well. It's pretty. Also, this crane is dressed like a giraffe. So cute. This pigeon did not pay for a ticket.
He did not.
He did not. He's just trying to save his wings.
You did a good job.
Yeah.
I'm just crossing. Don't worry. Don't worry. Oh shit!
He's gone. He's gone back.
No, which way you would go.
That was nice. It's a lovely, gentle little ferry cruise.
Go get an ice cream, maybe.
Well, maybe. What a beautiful place of worship.
Such a prank.
Let's go.
Let's go pray.
Let's go pray. Pray that they're open. Come on. Oh, this is Jurassic.
It's a Jurassic.
There it is.
Get it, go.
Get it. It's partly shot in Malta in 2020.
Very cool.
We were reading about some of it. There are hundreds of films. I really want to watch Popeye again. 'Cause-
Yeah, oh, I wish we could have gone to the village.
Yeah, we just didn't have time.
We did not. It
But-
was so far. Well, not that far away.
Also, it would just be a few buildings.
Amazing set. Like, some incredible sets.
Yeah.
It's a happy meal.
It's so good. That's a heck of a propeller.
Yeah.
That's a heck of a chimney. That's a big cannon.
Right.
There's so much stuff.
Started with him rolling in when I was looking at the sunrise.
Yeah, and then he's off again. Bye. Have fun. Heading back to Valletta. Go see the cannons tomorrow.
Yeah, we can.
And from up there, we're up here again.